Copy. So our first lap is just going to be an observation lap, essentially. Just going around, checking the track. We're going to go real slow, point out a lot of the reference points we're going to use. And then as we come around to start our first lap, then we'll get going. Remember, the brakes on this thing are really good. When I say brake, really hit them hard. And all right, we're good to go. Huracan pulling out on track. So this first lap, like I said, we're just going to do an observation lap, essentially. Top speed will be about 35, 40, just to point out all the references. So we're just going to be going straight. Normally this is a lift, brake. You're going to need almost this entire distance to use for the brakes. We'll come all the way down. It's just a melt off, turn through. We're only going to track out about midway through here and then get it back to this right side before we then transition back in left. And as we come in through this left side, we'll touch in left on the apex and then keep the car left side, getting ready for turn 3. As we come up, it's a hard brake. And as we make this turn, it's a real late turn in, all the way out by that orange cone, carrying it around back into that apex. Very good line through here. This is one of those maintenance throttle areas. You don't want to be too much in that throttle through there because the front end will just start washing out. As we come through here, it's just going to be kind of a roll out of the throttle as we then turn, keeping it then to the right. As we stay here, bringing it back in left, depending on the speed, there may be a light brake before we enter these S's. We're then going to hold left, back in right, touching on this right side, and just before that next turn inside, we'll then bring it in left. So we'll bring it back left, and like I said, we'll turn a little bit before that sign. Okay. And then we just straight line through this section, aiming towards the 3, tracking out wide left before we then give it a nice hard brake all the way down. This is a really slow turn because as you track out, you're actually keeping it right. Okay. So we'll come from the right side back in left, another kind of maintenance throttle area. And as we track out here, just keep it about mid-track. And as we get up towards this lift, or to this turn in, we lift, turn in, kind of maintenance throttle around, carrying it out wide left. And as we pass this sign, just lift, turn in, and then we'll touch in on the right side and track out left, and here we go. Here we go. All the way through. Very good. Keep going, keep going. Awesome. And we're going to look for that lift sign up here on the left side, and lift and brake hard, real hard. There we go. Stay on the brake and melt off, turn through. Start rolling in that throttle. Very good. Keep it going. A little bit more throttle. We'll bring it back in tight left. Keep going. Keep going. Holding left side. Keep going. And we'll brake hard. Wait for it. Ease off the brake. Bring it out wide and then back in tight. We'll give just a little bit more throttle. And then start to accelerate wide left. There we go. Keep it going. Very good. We'll just roll out. There we go. Holding to that right side, keeping it right side. Lift, turn in, and roll through that throttle. There we go. Keep it going. Back in right. Holding to that right side. Very good. And back in left. And roll through that throttle and accelerate straight through. Aiming for that 3 sign. Out wide and brake hard. There we go. Hold it and melt off. Turn through. Hold right. Give it a little bit of throttle, back in left, maintenance through here, track out about midway. We're gonna lift, turn in, maintenance all the way out wide left, and we'll lift, turn in, very good, wait for it, and we'll track out wide left, and accelerate. Very good, keep it going all the way down. Lift and brake hard. Hold that brake and we'll melt off, turn through, back in that throttle. Excellent. Keep it right side. Very good. Stay with that throttle through here. Keep it going, holding left, and we'll brake hard. Ease off the brake, bring it from the outside, back in tight. Excellent. We'll wait for it. And now we'll start to accelerate wide left. Keep it going. Very good. Very good. We'll roll out, turn through. right. We're just gonna tap the brake, off the brake, holding left, and a little bit of maintenance through here, not a lot of throttle. Holding right, back in left, and we'll straight line out. Very good. Exit line left, and brake hard, hard brake, and melt off, turn through. Keep it right side. A little bit of throttle. There we go. Maintenance through here. About mid-track, move the track out, lift, turn in, weight on it, let it float out wide, and now we'll turn through, touching inside, letting it track wide left, and we'll accelerate out. And starting our last lap here. Keep it going all the way down. Very good, very good. Keep it to the left side and lift and brake. There we go. And start melting off, turn through, and roll in that throttle. Excellent. Holding right, in left. A little bit of throttle through here, waiting on it, and brake hard, and melt off, keep it out, and then in. Very good, and now we'll roll in that throttle. Excellent, excellent. We're just going to roll out, hold right. Remember, just a tap of the brake, brake, off the brake, turn through, weight on that throttle, weight on it, weight on it. Back in right, holding right, back in left, aim for the 3 sign, and we'll accelerate out, and brake hard. There we go, and back in tight right. All right, we'll be back in the pits on the left side. Excellent job out there. And we'll head right for where it says pit in. Good job. How'd you like this thing?
This thing's a beast.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
It's a different experience than riding a bike.
Oh yes,
Sure.
oh yes. And if you can, we are just going to stop right over here.
Right here?
Huracan off track. Just pull up right over here. We've got a lot of our spectators are technically not supposed to be out here, and I need to let everyone know.